Greetings, compassionate, empathetic, emotional Pisces. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader, and now I'm going to do the July 2020 forecast, tarot and astrology forecast for the sign of Pisces. And I'm going to first do the cards, and then the second half of the video I'm going to talk about the planetary transits, which are fascinating, so I highly encourage you to stick around till the end. And you can watch the videos for your sun, moon, and rising sign to get the broadest scope of what to expect in the month. If you don't know your sun, moon, and rising, you should definitely contact me to have your chart read. It's a very fascinating and empowering experience and tool to use in life. So as we enter the month of July, Pisces, it looks like you are carrying a lot, and because you are carrying so much, it is difficult to see the road ahead. You are covered by the Four of Pentacles. This looks like you're playing it safe. You're holding it close to the vest. This could even have to do literally with like investments and savings and finance kind of stuff, or it could more figuratively just have to do with holding tight and being conservative. You're crossed by the Two of Pentacles, and this is in the position of your Tikkun, what the Kabbalists call your Tikkun. It's the only card in the layout that's horizontal. It's not upright or reversed. And so that is your karmic correction in July. It's your spiritual work, so to speak. And that has to do with making a decision around financial and practical matters. It looks like you will be weighing the decision, and you need to try and make it by the end of the month. The basis of the situation, Seven of Swords reversed, it's new information, information has come out of the shadows. This can sometimes mean that something that had been stolen from you, or not stolen, something that was lost is being returned. Could have been stolen, could have been lost. It's coming back. What's leaving is the Five of Rods reversed. So this has to do with resolving a conflict. What could come into being, it looks like not working, taking time off of work around the 13th through the 15th. What will come into being is the Six of Pentacles reversed. So this looks like around the 16th through the 18th, somebody feels like they're not getting their fair share in a contract or negotiation. For those who aren't dealing with a literal contract or negotiation, this could be a more figurative representation of that concept, meaning just that there's someone who's feeling like they're not getting their fair share in a negotiation around a practical or financial matter. Someone feels like things are out of balance and not fair. Fears or insecurities, it looks like you fear yielding. Others see you, for Pisces women, others see you as very compassionate, empathetic, intuitive, loving. For Pisces men, I think that there's a woman who is very in love with you. The outcome is this isn't the outcome. This is positive feelings. Again, you feel positive about not working towards the end of the month. For some, this could also be an incompetent or unskilled worker who you have positive feelings about nevertheless. And then the outcome is the King of Rods. At the end of the month, we see a man in action, taking action. And that's the tarot overview for Pisces for July. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the planetary transits. As we enter July, Mars has just entered Aries. So Mars is at 1 degree Aries, and Mars is at home in Aries. It had been in your sign of Pisces for the past few weeks. So, while Mars was in Pisces, it's like we were kind of fighting for the dream. Now Mars is entering Aries, which is fiery and passionate. And Mars it's our drive, it's our fight, it's our competitive nature. So, during Mars and Aries, particularly these first 3 weeks of July when Mars is in its healthiest state in Aries, Collectively, you know, we're going to see a pioneering spirit, people having the courage of their convictions, people fighting the good fight, you know, things like this. In your chart in particular, for Pisces, it's falling in the second house of finance and resources. So you're going to be very driven in that area, Pisces. And again, this is general Pisces. If I do your chart, I could know where it's happening specifically in your chart. And it's really important to understand where Mars is happening in your personal chart, because it will be in Aries for the whole last 6 months of the year, which is significant because Mars is usually only in a sign for 6 to 7 weeks. And so it's going to really be putting a stamp on what the rest of 2020 looks like for us as a collective. And in the area of our chart that it's traveling is like, we are going to be having a master class in that area for the end of the year, or the second half of the year. So really important energy. Also July 1st, Saturn is retrograding into Capricorn. And so for Pisces, that is really moving from your 12th house into your 11th house. And Saturn is where we have to face reality, right? And so the 11th house is where it has been in for, you know, since the end of 2017. We had a brief, you know, move into Aquarius for the second quarter of 2020, which is giving us a taste of what to expect in terms of Saturn in 2021 and 2022. But as it backs into Capricorn for the rest of this year, or well, until December, this is going to be restructuring around, you know, friends, business associates, groups, organizations. In general, that's a big area for Pisces. Friends, business associates, groups, organizations in July, because the Pluto-Jupiter conjunction that happened at the end of June is also happening in that house. The Jupiter-Pluto conjunction on the collective had a lot to do with the rise in the virus. It wasn't the only aspect that had to deal with that, but combined with other things, it's a really clear demarcation of where we can expect to see the rises this year. And the first was April 4th, the second June 30th as we enter July, and then the third is November 12th, which keep following up with my videos, and I'll, you know, be talking about that more when it comes and what's happening around that. But for now, you know, Jupiter and Pluto are both retrograde. Saturn is retrograde. All of this is in Capricorn. All of this is in your 11th house of friends, business associates, and groups and organizations. And then the full moon penumbral lunar eclipse will also be happening there. Jupiter-Pluto is not all bad. There are opportunities for expansion in wealth and power, which, you know, that can go either way. But, you know, we hope that people will be philanthropic and give to the masses and to the people when they have the opportunities to expand their wealth and power in this period, since there's so many that need it. And, you know, for Pisces, there's a lot of opportunity for personal transformation and expansion, you know, letting go of what's not needed anymore and expanding in these areas. And so the full moon penumbral lunar eclipse will also bring this up at 13 degrees Capricorn in that same house. And lunar eclipses can bring up the shadow in ourselves or in others. It can be shocking, but it's necessary, because the shadow that it brings up, there are things that need to be cleared, there are other things that need to be integrated, and that is what this will bring up in that 11th house for Pisces. July 6th, Ceres is going retrograde in Pisces in your sign. And so this is going to be looking at your nurturing side. It's going to be looking at, for mothers, it'll be your identity and motherhood. For people who aren't mothers, it's just in generally how you nurture, how you allow others to nurture you, and how that relates to your self-expression and your identity. And so July 12th, Mercury will be going direct. Finally, so the first 2 weeks of July, Mercury is still retrograde in Cancer, which started June 17th. Mercury is the planet of communication, and Cancer is very emotional, very sensitive, and so the retrograde period brought up a lot of emotional communication issues for people. For Pisces in particular, that was happening in the house of children. It was also happening, if you don't have children, that is the house of creative projects. It's the house of fun and games. It can be the house of affairs, love affairs. And so any emotional communication that happened in that area will start to resolve itself once Mercury goes direct, but it will not happen overnight. It will, the retro shade period lasts until July 26th or 27th, when Mercury returns to the degree it was when it went retrograde in the first place. And what else do I want to talk about? The new moon in Cancer is July 20th. This is the black moon in Cancer, very powerful black moon. I love a black moon. And you know, it's the black moon because it's the second new moon of the season in the same sign. So the first one was June 20th, and that was the solar eclipse in Cancer, 0 degrees Cancer, conjunct the world point. Very powerful solar eclipse, setting off several new cycles, a 13-year cycle, a 19-year cycle, a 36-year cycle. And so now with this second new moon, the black moon that's at 28 degrees Cancer, we have a second chance to recommit to these very important, you know, intentions around these cycles that we're setting off. And so Cancer is themes of the mother, the home, roots, the ancestors, legacy, wealth, land, real estate. So it's powerful to set those intentions. For Pisces, this new moon is emerging in your house of children, so you can set intentions around children, the children you have. If you want to have children, this is a great new moon to do it because it's incorporating both the mother energy and the children energy with this same new moon, you know? So really powerful stuff here. And also, I always like to do an altar. If you're interested in being in my altar and having me work with your spells and manifestations, contact me. I have room for a handful of clients on my altar every month, but it's also something you can do for yourself with your candles and your crystals and being really specific and very specific in your intentions, writing it out with clarity and, you know. So yeah, I always love to do that. And July 22nd is the sun enters Leo, and that will be going through from your 5th house where it's been to your 6th house. And so as the sun travels through Leo for 30 days, starting July 22nd, that will be highlighting issues of physical health and fitness for you. Also, it might be bringing up work for some people. It will highlight things around your day-to-day routine, service to others. For those who have staff or employees, it might highlight that area. And so that's all happening during Leo season for Pisces. And then at the end of July, there's this really beautiful Jupiter-Neptune sextile that involves Neptune in your 1st house. So this is bringing together 1st house and 11th house issues. So it looks like some inspiration around with friends at this time. You know, some inspiring kind of transcendental kind of things that will be a mode of expressing self-expression and align with your identity and, you know, things like this. So I really love this aspect. It's very mystical and powerful, and that's the end of the month. So that is the forecast for Pisces. If you liked my video, give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a don't like. Please follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification button so you're notified every time that I post new videos. Please share this video with other Pisces that you know. And thank you so much for joining me. I would love to read for you one-on-one. I'm reading on Zoom during quarantine, so I can read for people anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. And I love doing it, and it is such an empowering and useful tool in life. So I highly encourage that you have it done. And just have a wonderful July, Pisces. Thank you.